It's a beautiful Sunday, August 24th, and you're listening to the Oklahoma Breakdown with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack, match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards, and it's game week, baby.
Feels good. Feels good.
It does feel good. We'll have our OU Illinois State preview on Wednesday. Got a pretty good guess for that one.
Yeah, sure. I mean, go right to the main man, right?
We already recorded it. Illinois State head coach Brock Spack will be our guest to preview the game. It was awesome.
Yeah, great.
So looking forward to you guys seeing that on Wednesday. A few merch items before we get to our bold predictions.
Ooh, okay.
Ted, we sold out of all the beautiful cups from Simple Modern.
Yes. Did we vastly underestimate the marketplace?
We let them handle everything. Our guy Brian Porter handled all the numbers. He's the numbers guy. But they have restocked.
Yes.
SimpleModern.com, promo code Game Day for $5 off the new tumbler. And then our friends at Opolis Clothing have dropped all their new OU shirts. OpolisClothing.com, promo code TED for 10% off. I just had to show you this one.
Ooh, whoa. Dang. Okay.
Now look at this too. On the back, schedule, scores.
That's sweet. Okay. Yeah.
You were part of that 2000 national championship team. I thought you would really appreciate this retro look.
Texting my wife to place her order now.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
So go check those out. OpolisClothing.com, promo code TED. Ted, you ready to do some bold predictions, buddy?
Am I ever?
Okay.
I took the assignment seriously and got incredibly bold.
These are not called super reasonable and measured predictions, people. This is where Ted and I, we get a little loose with things. We have not been hiding our excitement for this season. It has a lot to do with the fact that we're just not going to have to watch what we had to watch last year on offense. I think that's got a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
But let's get bold. Let's do all of yours first, and then we'll do mine. Ted Lehman, your first bold prediction for the Oklahoma Sooners in 2025, sir.
The Oklahoma Sooners will have not one, but 2,000-yard receivers.
Whoa.
Yeah. Not one, but 2,000-yard receivers.
Just so you know, you just dipped into one of mine. So I'm going to chime in here.
Okay.
So, but keep going. Keep going.
Well, I mean, that's it. The last time we had 2,000-yard receivers? Would you like to take a guess?
Hollywood and CD?
Bam, 2018 Hollywood and CD Lamb, which, by the way, we also that year, not only do we have 2,000-yard rushers, we basically had 3 1,000-yard rushers as well. So pretty crazy.
It was a very good offense.
We were offensing our asses off that year. You know what the crazy part is, though? I'm not sure what 2 receivers it's going to be. I think Burks is a 1,000-yard guy. And then this is maybe where I get chopped off in this prediction because, I think Satania is going to be right there. I would pick right now Satania to be the leading receptions guy on the team. Giovanni Gibson, whenever he comes back, could he be that guy? I think there's several different ways to get there, but I think we're going to be back to throwing the football around the yard a little bit.
I love it. I love the boldness. Now, after what we watched a year ago, this prediction is incredibly bold, even with the addition of John Mateer. Like
Right.
we're all very excited about what he's going to be at the quarterback position for the Sooners. But can I go ahead and explain why this is extra bold?
Please.
Your prediction, your bold prediction, is that OU will have two 1,000-yard wide receivers. Do you know how many wide receivers in the SEC there were last year that went over 1,000 yards receiving?
3,
Two.
2. I was going to say 2.
Yeah, two. Trey Harris at Ole Miss, and he would have had a lot more if he wouldn't have been banged up. But Andrew Armstrong at Arkansas and Trey Harris at Ole Miss, the only two players that went over 1,000 yards receiving last year in the SEC.
Yeah, and I think there was only 1,000-yard back, right?
And you're saying we're going to have two.
2. Extra bold.
Especially Deion Burks, because one of mine was that Deion Burks was going to go over 1,000 yards receiving. I think that's extremely bold by us. Look at us being brave.
Right.
Burks he hadn't been able to stay on the field.
Right.
So we are banking on Deion Burks staying healthy and being the type of player I think both of us believe he can be.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, especially in this conference, you're not going to get to 1,000 yards being in and out of the lineup. It's you've got to be there. You got to be rolling week in, week out. You got to stack some yards early in the non-conference. That goes a long way around here to get to 1,000 yards. So we got to get off to a hot start if we're going to get there.
May the football gods keep him healthy.
That's right. That's right.
I do think that one thing that gives me hope for your bold prediction is what Arbuckle was able to do with Kyle Williams last year at Washington State. Had nearly 1,200 yards receiving. He was Mateer's go-to guy. Did a lot of good things when it came to designing just ways to get the ball in his hands. And then I went back and looked at 2023 when Arbuckle was the OC there at Washington State with Cam Ward as the quarterback. They had a guy, Josh Kelly, who had 923 yards as their leading receiver. So it has been proven that the lead wide receiver in Ben Arbuckle's offense is going to be in that 1,000-yard range. But you say there's going to be two guys, sir. You are a bold man. You grew a beard and you are extra bold.
We got to get bold around here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm happy with the passing game with what I've seen, and frankly, I think there's a lot of games for us where we're going to come out throwing the rock. I think game 2 against Michigan, I think we're going to come out throwing the ball, spread them out, and air it out some. And I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I got very bold. I may have more. That may be my least bold take on the list.
That's just the appetizer of boldness.
Just the appetizer.
All right. Well, let's keep getting into it then. What's your next bold prediction?
Well, this is probably the boldest because it's just incredibly hard to do. R. Mason Thomas says he's coming for the University of Oklahoma sack record, and I'm with him. 14 sacks. Now, it nowhere does it say that you have to get the bulk of your sacks against Texas and Alabama and LSU. Okay. So all you have to do is some time during the season acquire 14 sacks. And I'm hoping he gets off to a hot start and front loads this sucker in the non-conference. Okay. But I think that I just think that he's set up to have a really nice year. If he got 14 sacks, that would be uh, incredible. But how much better we've gotten on the interior, I think, is going to help him situationally. I think because we're going to be a better football team, I think there's going to be a lot more situations that help pass rushers whenever you've got a lead. Teams have to start airing it out against you in the fourth quarter. They become one dimensional. I think that's going to help him. I think whoever we have rushing the passer opposite him on the edge is going to help. I think we have a chance to be really good in the secondary, forcing quarterbacks to hang on to the ball a little bit longer. It's going to be a very sack-rich environment for our Mason Thomas to help him get to the record. So there we go. My most bold take.
Martin Chase in 1997 and Cedric Jones in 1994, both with 14 sacks. Third on the list is Aubrey Beavers in 1992 with 11 and a half.
Great linebacker.
14. You're saying he's over 14?
I guess I got to bump that to 14 and a half, don't I?
14 and a half sacks.
14.5. That hook there may get me.
It doesn't it always? Doesn't the hook always get you? But that's bold, man. Because you
bold.
know that's really bold when you think about the question mark at the other edge position. Now, I think they feel really good about Marvin Jones Jr.'s progress, Taylor Wine's progress. Maybe in the pass rush situations, you throw a Koye over there, but teams are going to build their protection plan around our Mason Thomas. So to say that he's going to have 14 and a half sacks, sir, you wild, dog.
I know. I know.
I like it.
I know.
This is the ultimate Hopium podcast for OU fans. This is great.
You said bold predictions. I went big, baby, because this next one's pretty big too.
I love how they're all bold and very positive. I didn't do any negative bold predictions either.
No,
that wouldn't be any fun.
Not this time of the year.
That wouldn't be fun. All right. What's your next bold prediction?
My next bold prediction.
It's always fun when you're giggling leading into it.
I like this one, kind of goes against what I've said pretty much the entire offseason, but that's okay. Whatever. John Mateer will have more total touchdowns than he did last year. 44 last year. Yeah. 44.
Are we going to win the national championship?
You know what? I did not take that as a bold prediction.
Mateer over 44 total touchdowns.
Yes. Now this is the key part. He had, I think, 29 passing and 15 rushing. I think the distribution is going to look differently. But I mean, if I'm saying he's going to have 2,000-yard receivers, my man's going to throw for some touchdowns this year. And this is a critical point in this extremely bold prediction. I think John Mateer is going to be, at least at some point during the season, he is going to be in the Heisman race, right? Do you agree with that?
I think if this season goes well, there's just absolutely no doubt about that.
And I think the staff probably believes that as well, right? I mean, that's why you brought him here. And if you're in the Heisman race, what do you have to do? You got to pad some stats. Okay? Whenever you have opportunity, you got to pad some stats. So I think whenever they have a chance in some of these games, non-conference, they are going to let it go in the air and try and put some numbers up on the board. Like I said, I think he's going to throw for more than he did last year, and I think he's going to rush for some. Just that's the type of player he is. 15, I'd be shocked if he had that many rushing touchdowns in this conference, but However he gets there, he'll get to at least 45 total touchdowns. Very, very bold.
Jackson Dart last season had 29 passing touchdowns and only 3 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 32. Look at my math. And you're saying Mateer's going 45.
45. It's going to be an offensive league this year, Gabe.
Listen, man, I hope you're right. But is it very bold to say, hey, this guy's going from playing a glorified Mountain West schedule to playing in the SEC and his production's going to increase? Is that kind of crazy? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I love it. I love your crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. Yeah.
What was yours? Yours was 31 passing, handful of rushing. He had 33. So little distance between 45 and 33.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot. But again, I think it's going to be a different league this year.
And again, you've got Illinois State, Temple, and Kent State to help with the stats.
That's what I'm saying. I believe so far in a lot of these, actually all of these, I am banking on Kent State to live up to their reputation of being the worst team in all of college football. Okay. A lot of scoring. I'm predicting some gigantic numbers against Temple, against Kent State, and hopefully against Illinois State in the opener. Michigan, going to be a little tougher to come by.
You think?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right. Any more bold predictions? What else you got? You got another one?
I got one more.
Okay.
I think Kendal Daniels will twice this season be the Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Week. Twice. I think he is going to have some very loud moments this year, whether it's interceptions, sacks, forcing big plays, coming off the edge and playing in that cheetah spot. I think he's going to have a couple of really loud games and loud moments. I think he is going to be a highlight type of player this season for us, and I think it's going to get him some attention.
He certainly looks the part.
He may get it in the opener just because look at that guy.
It is just with what we've seen out at practice. I'm going to be really surprised if he doesn't have a couple of big time interceptions this season.
Yeah, I thought about saying that he leads the team or maybe leads the conference in pass breakups, pass defended, or maybe even interceptions.
His length at that spot is just something you do not see.
Especially as a quarterback, like you don't think he's going to get where he can get. It just doesn't look like it's possible because rarely do you have 6'5.5" players out there roaming around the underneath coverage that you're typically throwing over out kind of on the perimeter. I think it's going to take a couple of games before quarterbacks really start to see what he's doing out there.
Once again, my only concern with him is just with how long he is. Sometimes long guys have trouble tackling in space. That's my only concern. He's going to be in space a lot in that cheetah role, but other than that, guy looks the part and has been very good in the zone coverage stuff, from what I can tell, from what I've seen.
Yep, looks pretty dangerous.
All right, let's recap your bold predictions. 2 1,000-yard wide receivers.
Yes.
R. Mason Thomas will break the OU sack record, meaning he will have to go 14 and a half sacks.
14 and a half. I thought 14 was bold and I've increased it.
Good for you. Mateer. I think this is the boldest one.
Yeah.
Mateer over 44 total touchdowns.
What's your percentage chance on that one?
I think if Mateer goes over 44 total touchdowns, OU's playing in the SEC championship game. With how good the defense is going to be, like it's just hard for like if he does that, because yeah, he can rack up stats in these bad non-conference games, but you can only rack up so many. If he goes over 44, that means he is balling out in SEC play.
Yep.
Which means OU is going to be one of the best teams in the country.
Yep.
Which means the O-line is playing at a high level and Mateer is just playing to the peak of his powers.
He's going to have to basically knock out a third of it in 3 non-conference games. He's going to have to get close to 15 touchdowns in those 3 non-conference games, right? And I think that's achievable. But I feel like he needs to get there if he's gonna sniff that record.
Here, I think these are good numbers to look at. Jayden Daniels, year he won the Heisman Trophy, 2023, 40 passing touchdowns. And he had 10 rushing touchdowns, so 50.
50.
So I guess it's not unheard of, but yeah, if he puts together a season where he's scoring over 44 total touchdowns, I guess Jayden Daniels is a great example. Maybe OU doesn't have the team success you're looking for them to have because their defense was awful. Now that's not going to be the case with this OU defense. But yeah, it's not like it's unheard of for a mobile quarterback to throw for 40 and then rush for 10. Jayden Daniels just did it. All he is one of the best, most exciting young quarterback prospects we've seen in a decade. That's it.
Not unheard of, just highly, highly unlikely.
All right, and your last one is that Kendal Daniels will be a 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep.
Okay. Grew a beard and got real bold. Look at you.
Really, really. I took the assignment to the next level.
Attaboy. All right, let's get to my bold predictions. But first, taking a road trip this summer? Remember to stop at Love's Travel Stops. You can't miss the heart of the highway, and with the Love's app, you can save big all summer long. You can save 10 cents per gallon on gas and up to 25 cents per gallon on auto diesel. Save with the Love's app this summer and be welcomed by clean places and friendly faces. Certain conditions may apply. See loves.com for details.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to fire up your cookouts than with Didier Ranch's steak burgers made from 100% premium cuts of steak. These burgers are the real deal. Juicy, flavorful, and packed with that rich, beefy taste that you love. Plus, they're shipped right to your door, so you can spend more time doing what you love and less time shopping. Head over to DidierRanch.com now and use code SOONER for a special discount on your first order. Get ready to taste the best burgers you've ever had. Proudly raised 100% in Oklahoma. Didier Ranch, steak in every bite.
And we are brought to you by Simple Modern, the Oklahoma-owned company and the official drinkware partner of the OU Sooners. It's August in Oklahoma, and that can only mean one thing. OU football is back. Get ready for home games with us. Every home OU football game will feature exclusive limited edition drinkware drops, perfect for staying hydrated while you cheer on the Sooners. Each home game brings a brand new design only available while supplies last. So grab yours each game before they are gone. And with 10% of all Simple Modern profits going to charity, many right here in Oklahoma, you'll also know you're helping Oklahomans off the field as well. Simple Modern, good everywhere. All right, time for my bold predictions for OU football in 2025. I'm going to start on the defensive line, Ted.
Okay.
Jayden Jackson.
Yes.
Will make first team all SEC.
Okay.
Now, Pretty bold for a guy when you just look at the production numbers from a season ago. Not much there. Even though you and I both agree he played at a very high level as a true freshman.
Yep.
I just love everything I've seen from the guy in training camp. I do think he's going to be a more productive player. And I'm banking on, when the opposing coaches do the press conferences early in the week?
It's just what I was sitting here thinking. Like the coaches, he'll probably be there after the coaches see the double teams he's chewing up against Michigan.
I need the opposing SEC coaches to mention 65 each and every week, being like, man, 65 is a player. He's a player. Because people that vote for all SEC hear that and go, okay, well, Jayden Jackson must be a heck of a player.
That's right.
I need that to happen. I need some help from head coaches in the SEC for this one. But it's pretty bold. I think he's going to have a much better season than he did a season ago. But when you look at some of the other guys he's going to be battling first team all SEC with, like, that's where it gets a little bold, because I was looking at Dane Brugler's defensive tackle rankings for the 2026 draft. There's SEC guys all over it. I mean, you look at Christian Miller at Georgia and Caleb Banks, they're number 2 and number 3 on on Brugler's defensive tackle rankings for the 2026 draft. He had Arkansas's David Oki as number 4.
Yeah.
So Jayden Jackson's going to have to put together a heck of a season to be viewed as a better player than these guys that are supposed to be very high draft picks. Remember, Jayden's only a sophomore, but I just think he's capable of having a really, really big season. I don't know if the production numbers are going to be there for the people that just go, oh, what defensive tackles had the most TFLs, had the most sacks? Oh, right, that's my first team all SEC guy. I'm banking on him getting the recognition for being an immovable force in the interior of OU's defensive line.
Yeah, he needs to be like a weekly feature on the broadcast. You know how they go back and run some clips of this guy. He needs to be on that week in, week out, and I think he may.
Preseason all SEC first team only had one defensive tackle on it, and that was Christian Miller at Georgia. The second team had Bama's Tim Keenan and Florida's Caleb Banks, which, by the way, Caleb Banks is just a massive human being, dude.
Yeah.
6'6", 330 at defensive tackle. I mean, what?
Woo.
That dude is just a mountain of a man in the interior. But this may be the key for this bold prediction to come true. OU's got to be really good on defense.
Yeah.
And they got to win games. Like, when you win games, then your defense gets the recognition. Then you get all SEC recognition. Like, those things are all tied together, man. So I need the OU defense to be better than they were a year ago. We certainly need OU's offense to be much improved. Got to win games. Need some help from the opposing coaches recognizing Jayden Jackson's dirty work. Like, I need a lot of help here, Ted, but I think it can happen.
He needs Mateer to hit 45 touchdowns throughout the season. That'll help as well.
Maybe all your things need to come true for Jayden Jackson to make first team all SEC. But
hey, the more of these things that happen, the more likely the rest will start to happen.
I think he's capable of it.
I do too.
We'll see, but it's bold predictions. It's not measured, reasonable predictions. It's bold. Here we are.
Well, here's the thing. I think I know I've said it quite a bit, and I think you feel the same. I think this defense is going to be pretty dang good, and it's very hard to find someone else on the defense right now. Like, he may be the best player on the defense, and if we think our defense is going to be good, and we think he may be the best player, first team all SEC is not a huge stretch, but there's some big time players in front of him.
I think this next one's probably my boldest.
Okay.
Jaren Kanak's stats this season would have made him OU's leading wide receiver last year.
Okay.
Now, it sounds bold coming out, but really, when you take a look at it, it's really not that bold.
You think he's going to eclipse the 324-yard mark?
I do. I think,
That that may be the craziest stat since we ran the option.
let's not talk about it, man. It's just going to make us sad again. We've got the hopium flowing through our veins. Let's not get sad. That basically means Kanak will have more receiving yards than Bauer Sharp had last season. Sharp was the leading wide receiver for us last year with 42 catches and 324 yards. So I'm really not sure how bold this is, but this is a guy that just switched to tight end in the spring and has never played a single snap in college football at tight end. So I'd like to think it's a little bold, but what do you think of this one? I like what I've seen from Kanak in training camp from just a route running and catching the football perspective.
Yeah, well, I I love that. What I've really been impressed with is after the catch. I think he's really dangerous after the catch, especially where he's going to be catching the ball. You know, the majority of his catches, I believe, are going to be like out to the flat, kind of dump it down type stuff. I mean, he'll be featured in some routes, but I think he's going to do some damage when he catches ball out on the flat. And you got corners, nickels trying to come up and make those plays. He's we've all seen his high school clips with the ball in his hand, and I've been impressed with some of the stuff I've seen him doing out there against our defense in some live periods. Yeah, I think he has a chance to break some plays open for sure.
I think he looks natural as a route runner. I think he looks very natural catching the ball. But I'm with you, man. I need him to rack up at least like 250 yards just catching the ball in the flat.
Yep, yep.
I need a couple of them to go. I mean, he could break this in non-conference play if he catches a couple of 50-yarders where he's just uncovered in the flat, you know?
Yep, couple of wheel routes or something would be nice every now and then.
He looks good, and Arbuckle loves these in the offense, but with the way that Kanak can run, just running that deep over route when he's standing up like as a wide receiver, but he's close to the core and he's just running like that deep over route with speed. Like he looks good running those routes.
I agree. I agree.
I'd be lying if I said the photo shoot with the wiener dog did not have an effect on the type of season I think Kanak's going to have. Like
I
it
was
just,
wondering, you know, there's the new rule is you can't brandish weapons, but what if it's a wiener dog? Does that still count? Can you brandish a wiener dog?
I think yes. You have to be able to. This
Got to have that conversation with the officials beforehand. Listen, there's a possibility of brandishing a weapon, but it's not actually a weapon. It's my dog Burger.
First of all, Burger is the perfect name for a wiener dog. Just
It's
perfect.
it's the perfect name and the perfect dog for Kanak, isn't it?
I need Kanak to score his first touchdown on own field. And I need that wiener dog somewhere in the proper end zone. And I need someone handing it to him. And I need him to just light up the crowd, you know?
We got a strong new mascot potential hanging out here. Burger. Let him out of the cage over there on the sideline.
Does anybody object to Burger just hanging out on the sideline just in case Kanak scores a touchdown?
No.
Even if he does, you know what? You know how they do, and they do this at all kinds of places, the like Simba cam where everyone holds up the babies?
Yeah.
I need Kanak scoring a touchdown and lifting Burger like Simba, and then that moving directly into a Simba cam for the crowd.
I agree. I agree.
This is what I lay in bed at night and think about. I'm so strange.
Like they just need to like superimpose Burger onto the Jumbotron when everyone's holding whoever up. That's
I
good.
I also think Burger's face. I don't know if there's rules against this now, but when the when any opponent is going to the south end zone and they're kicking a field goal,
The gigantic
I
face.
I wouldn't mind just like a gigantic picture of Burger on the screen. Is that
Uh,
against any rules? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just say it. I feel like we've struck a gold mine of content with Burger. We
That
need to use it.
that Kanak is he himself is a gold mine of content. So I hope
I
if he has a great year, I can only imagine the content machine's going to be cranked into high gear.
All he has to do is make a couple guys miss in the flat and he could rack up numbers. Like in all seriousness.
Yep.
He's got the speed, he's got the athleticism. There's going to be multiple situations this year where it's Jaren Kanak catching the ball on boot or on just a play action in the flat, and it's going to be him one-on-one with a guy coming down. It's one-on-one in space. And if he makes one guy miss, he could run for like 40 yards.
Yep. Yep.
I am
I
banking
agree.
on him winning some of those matchups.
I'm banky on it, and I am like I think there's a lot of people, and I'm not alone in this. I'm banking on it, and I'm hoping for it because I think he's a great player. I think he's been a great teammate. I hope he goes out and has a huge productive year.
That's obviously that's a factor here as well. Like I'm trying to speak it into existence. I want the guy to have a great season.
I do too.
Maybe the most liked guy on the entire roster.
Yep. Yep. He's fantastic.
My last bold prediction, since you took my Deion Burks, will
I
be a
did
1,000 yard
hijack
wide
it.
receiver.
Sorry
Which,
about
by the
that.
way, one more note on that. Burks has never been close to 1,000 yards in his career.
No. What, he's six something? Was that his best at Purdue?
629.
Yeah.
So I think our 1,000 yard prediction for Burks is pretty bold. Injury issues, and he's never been, statistically speaking, never been close to 1,000 yards.
I like for him though, I mean, that feels like the main obstacle. Like if I had the ability to tell you that Burks was going to be available for and play in all 12 games, that number doesn't seem like it's almost like we feel like that needs to be the number he gets to, right?
I that would be maybe the floor for me. Like if you told me I'm getting 12 healthy games of Deion Burks, 1,000 yards is the floor. He is just from a talent perspective, an explosiveness perspective. He is. I mean, he's 1,000 yard wide receiver.
Yep.
I mean, but I think that would be the floor of what I would expect from him if he was healthy for every game.
Yep.
He's got the ability. He's just got to stay on the field and he's got to catch the football. Like that's also been a bit of an issue for him in the past.
Yep. And
Is making some of those tougher catches. So he can do it. He just has to be healthy and ball's got to find him. You know, that's kind of out of his control as well. But
well, that's what I was about to say is like the ball's got to find him, and he's going to be surrounded by some other really good targets, and ultimately that should help him quite a bit. It's going to be difficult to have a singular focus when it comes to the passing game against Oklahoma, hopefully.
my last one, I don't know if you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. We tend to neglect special teams on this podcast. My last bold prediction for the Oklahoma Sooners in 2025. Tate Sandell will make the longest field goal in the SEC in 2025.
Ooh, okay.
Hear me out. The longest field goals in the conference last year were Caden Davis and Brock Taylor at 57 yards.
Dang.
I have seen with my own eyes Sandell bury a 61 yarder.
I saw him kick I think it was 59 in the scrimmage, and it was not even close to being short.
The 61 yarder was going north on the practice field there with the Asp garage in the background. It hit about halfway up on the net.
Yep.
Thing was probably good from 68.
Yep. He does. It's all going to be about, do we trust, what's the percentage looking like? Do we trust it? Maybe it comes in a non-con with the big lead, but if the situation presents itself, from what I've seen at some of the practices, I don't think BV is going to be scared of pulling the trigger from some decent distances.
Now, if I were given the choices of Sandell having the longest field goal in the SEC all season or him having the best field goal percentage all season, obviously I'm choosing the percentage.
That's right.
But I picked this as my bold prediction because the kid doesn't look like much, but he's got a leg, man.
It's a bomb for sure.
I mean, he has an absolute cannon as a leg. And I think I think he'll get an opportunity to hit one from 60 plus. And I think he's more than capable of it. And depending on what the wind is doing in Norman, man, if he's got it at his back, he can kick it. I mean, I think he could easily make one from 65.
Yeah.
But that's my prediction. Tate Sandell, look at us talking about kickers. Here we go.
I like it.
This is what gets the people going. This is what the fan base wants to hear. They want to hear about kicking. But yeah, that's my bold prediction, is that Sandell will make the longest field goal in all of SEC football in 2025.
I like it. Good one.
I feel like yours were a lot bolder than mine. But it's okay. We're a team. It's okay. Together, you blend them together. I feel like it's a solid amount of overall boldness.
It's only an achievement to be the most bold in this exercise if you actually hit some of your predictions. So I was very bold, but I need a little help. Come on, R. Mason. Come on, let's go. Let's get there.
I considered going back to last year's bold predictions episode and kind of revisiting those, and I was just like, no, I don't want to revisit the 2024 season ever again.
It's hard to imagine anything bold predicted before that season hit.
Let's not talk about it. Let's not.
Actually, we may need to pay to have that one scraped from the internet.
I know how to delete it. I know how to delete it. Don't you worry. But then it would mess up all our numbers and everything. No. We don't delete things around here. I like it. We're bold. We're bold men. We'll see how they go.
Yep.
Some people are going to listen to this and go, "These guys are insane." That's the point. That's the point.
Have some fun with it. This is the final week to be unreasonably optimistic on some predictions. So enjoy it.
SEC, big announcement. Let's break it down. But first,
Schwab Meat has been smoking the highest quality meats, hot dogs, and sausages in OKC since 1912. Go to schwabmeat.com to order any of Schwab's outstanding products and use promo code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab dogs are iconic. I like to keep it simple. Just a bun, dog, mustard, ketchup. Also, the jalapeno cheddar smoked sausage is ridiculous. schwabmeat.com, code OKBreakdown for free shipping on orders over $75. Schwab Meat, the official hot dog of game days.
And head to the garage for hand smashed patties, butter toasted buns, and ice cold beer. My go-to is the double bison cheeseburger. It's so good. The garage is the perfect spot to watch any big game, and you can enjoy Rad Hour every day. Enjoy discounted domestic beers, house wines, draft cocktails, and frozen cocktails Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you or order online from the garage in your neighborhood.
Insurica's launched a new digital agency introducing Insurica Direct. Whether you're in Oklahoma or anywhere across the U.S., they've got you covered. From small business insurance and health insurance for your employees to insurance for individuals like home, auto, and even Medicare supplements. Insurica Direct's got it all. Start your journey today at insuricadirect.com. Remember, at Insurica, we specialize in you.
All right, some big news coming from the Southeastern Conference. They have announced that they will be moving to 9 conference games next season. They also reminded people, because this rule's already in place, that SEC teams are required to schedule at least one additional non-con game against an ACC, Big 10, or Big 12 opponent, or Notre Dame. Ted, moving to 9 conference games next year in 2026. What do you think? What was your reaction?
I like it. I like it. I think with the 9-game format and kind of how things, I really like how you can rotate your other 6 opponents, and every 4 years you see everyone both home and away. I think that's a great way to do it. And I think it's going to level out, like, because how we've seen it now, there's a big discrepancy between the most difficult end and the easiest end of some of these schedules. Now, some of that is unavoidable as teams are up and down as they go, and you may just catch them on the wrong years. So that stuff is hard to avoid. But knowing that you're going to rotate through everyone every 4 years, and you add that extra game in there, I think it's going to level things out. It's going to give you more quality games, which is, I think, what ultimately everyone wants. They want great home games. They want great road games to attend. So all in all, I don't have a problem with it. I'm interested to see how they lock it all in with the permanent, like the yearly permanent opponents. But first glance, I think it's great.
I'm with you. Everyone, all the SEC schools are also going to get more money from this. And I don't think it's a coincidence at all that this announcement comes right on the heels of the college football playoff selection committee talking about, our formula, we're weighting strength of schedule, strength of record, whatever you want to call it. We've changed how we're doing that in our selection process. I don't think that's a coincidence at all.
That's what Sankey was asking for. We need reassurance that that's going to be a factor, and they got it, although it was strangely worded whenever they put it out. And it's kind of strange that it wasn't something that they were looking at previously.
I
But
I think they were, but maybe they just tweaked the formula a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but
maybe it wasn't like a stated piece that they were looking at. Now, I guess it is.
so I think the most important question now that we know the SEC is going to 9 conference games and we know that the structure is going to be 3 annual games and then the other 6 team, and you just flip those each year. Who do we want OU's 3 annual games to be against? Clearly, Texas is one of them. So the conversation really is, who are the other 2 teams that we want? And maybe are the other 2 teams we think we're going to get?
Yeah. Um, I I think for me, it feels like Texas is a guarantee. It seems like Missouri is going to be one of the other ones. I don't know. It just kind of feels like that's what the hints have been. I don't think I've seen any of the projections that don't have us playing Missouri. Maybe there's some out there that I haven't seen. It's really the third one. And I would like it to be LSU. I've heard, I think Toby was talking about why he great reasons as to why it should be Arkansas. I can't argue with that. But if I was to select, I'd have Texas, Missouri, and LSU.
I really want the LSU game to stay. And listen, I know a lot of OU fans still have scars from their experience at that national championship game. I totally understand that. But the bottom line is having a game that's the last game of the season each and every year where you feel like something is really could be on the line against another great program, like that would be fun.
Yeah. Well,
That would be fun. Like I would love for OU to play LSU that Thanksgiving week every year for the rest of eternity. Like that would be awesome.
and this is part of the reason why I think that has a high chance of happening is us and LSU are really the only two teams that don't have a dance partner on that weekend. You've got Texas A&M, Auburn, Alabama. Um, you've got South Carolina plays Clemson. You've got Florida plays Florida State. Mississippi and Ole Miss play. So everyone is pretty much linked on that weekend except for Oklahoma and LSU. And I if I don't know how LSU fans feel about it, but I think there's a pretty high likelihood that that develops into something pretty substantial.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. I get why some people want no part of it because of some of the experiences that they've had with LSU fans. I get that, but I just think it would be very cool for OU to have what I think most years would be like a marquee game in college football on that weekend.
You want a premium game because there's so many other premium games out there. You don't want to be stuck with a random game every year there where you're maybe playing. I don't know. You got to kind of break some things up in order to get us a game there, unless we reestablish the Nebraska connection on Thanksgiving. And I don't know if they've got someone that they play there now every year, but um, I don't know. I like it.
It feels like clearly Texas is going to be one of them. And it feels like it's going to be two of these four: Arkansas, Missouri, Florida, LSU.
Yeah.
Two of those four. Personally, I I get why some people want Missouri because of the recent disdain that has developed between the fan bases. That's fun. There's no doubt about it. But I do think Arkansas makes the most sense. And it mostly has to do with the proximity. Like there's really no history between OU and Arkansas, which is strange, right?
It is.
With how close Norman and Fayetteville are. But the move to the SEC, let's be real, man. It has not made things easier financially on OU fans.
You got to pretty much fly everywhere. Which, it's easier to fly everywhere in this conference than it was previously. But like you said, that always isn't a good thing. It'd be nice to have an easy drive.
That's what I'm saying. Like the move to the SEC has come with increased costs for OU fans. And then you add on top of that, like the pressure on the fan base to contribute to NIL with this new system, like all this stuff. I want a game where OU fans could just get in the car and drive.
Yep.
And it
3.5 hours from OKC, uh, 2 hours and change from Tulsa. We got a lot of Sooner fans in Tulsa, and that would be nice for them to have a quick little run over to Fayetteville. And yeah, I would love that. And it seems so natural. It's weird that there hasn't been anything there previously.
I was looking at some people's predictions. I went back to Ross Dellinger's original guesses for the annual games. He had us with Florida, Texas, and Missouri. Our buddy Andy Staples just put one out a couple days ago. He had us with Florida, Texas, and Missouri. Is it going to be Florida, Texas, and Missouri?
Maybe. My question to that is, okay, fine. And I don't mind, like the Florida one to me, I think is pretty good. That's a good.
My only thing with Florida, and If it ends up being Florida, great. Sign me up. Let's go. Let's roll. I ain't scared. But Baton Rouge is 7.5 hours closer than Gainesville. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Like
Gainesville's
Gainesville's
not
like a 16.5 hour drive.
that's not you're not making well, I can't not
I'm not making the drive. I know that.
yeah. I think the only well, maybe not the only, but I think Florida's a good quality opponent to have every year. That would be I think that's a premium game. You also I think the state of Florida, we've gotten good players out of that state. And I think it's a nice connection to know that, every other year you're going to be playing a game close to home for family. I like just kind of immerses you in that state a little bit more. And there's a lot of athletes there.
So, same thing, but apply it to Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
You seen some of the defensive linemen that come out of Louisiana?
Yeah, and the only reason I didn't bring it up there is because I think it's way more difficult to get a lot of those players out of Louisiana. If you've
Fair
always
enough.
built a fence around your state, that's what LSU has done a pretty good job of. But yes, that you are absolutely correct.
So I think the recruiting piece applies to both LSU and Florida. I know a lot of people have brought up like, hey, we want OU in Florida. Like that would be great for recruiting. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think the argument can be made that no, you want to be in Louisiana and get the line of scrimmage guys out of that state.
Yeah.
Even if it is more difficult getting them away from LSU.
Yeah.
But
and the thing with the Florida game too is, okay, so we got Florida, Texas, and Missouri. Who are we playing on Thanksgiving? Because Florida is playing Florida State, Texas is playing Texas A&M, and I believe Missouri and Arkansas have played on Thanksgiving recently, right? And that's the game that they've had.
I want us to have like the same opponent on that weekend every year for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why I want that. Maybe
because pretty much everyone in college football does that.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of strange not to
bring back Bedlam and play it then. Just saying.
Well, see, that's what I was saying is like if you end up not having a Thanksgiving link up that makes sense, then I mean that is an option, I guess.
If we don't have, and maybe this just isn't true, but it's just how it feels to me. If you don't have that, let's say, permanent opponent on that weekend, you're almost like out of sight, out of mind in a way.
That's right.
It's like you just disappear for rivalry week, and you don't want that.
That's kind of my main point with LSU is that is going to be a premium matchup that doesn't kind of fade into the mix with a bunch of big rivalries going on. That's got a potential year in, year out to be a top 10 type of matchup. And they currently don't have a Thanksgiving matchup. So that's why I like that one, but I don't know. And I think all of the Florida stuff, like the original stuff that whenever they laid this out before we had joined the SEC, when they were going through this, like maybe this was going to be a thing. I think that was before we'll have played LSU the last two times on Thanksgiving. And if this year is a big matchup that has something on the line, like, I don't know. I have a feeling that since we're going to play them there twice, that maybe it's going to change some opinions on what should happen on that day. At least that's my hope.
I was told by someone on the Florida side of things that before this thing got tabled, that OU Florida was happening as one of them. But things can change. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. You go and look at it. There's really only like one school where you go, those are obviously their 3 annual games, and there's really no debate about it, and that's Texas. OU, A&M, and Arkansas. Like, that's who Texas is going to get.
Yeah. And Alabama's pretty locked in with LSU, Auburn, and Tennessee, right?
Are they? Auburn and Tennessee.
I doubt they want to be.
Auburn and Tennessee are for sure locks for Bama. But is that LSU game? Like, Is that
Maybe
really a
not.
lock for them? I don't know. I think the SEC is going to want that game every year because of ratings, but is that, and I don't really care about fairness for Alabama, but like, is that fair that they have to play those three every single year? I don't know. But there's a debate there. I feel like the only one there's not a debate for is Texas. Like, they're getting
Yeah.
the Red River Shootout. They're getting whatever they're calling the A&M game now, and they're getting Arkansas. They play that game at Jerry World, right?
Yeah. I think so.
So it feels like Texas is the only team where you go, yeah, those are obviously their three. And then all 15 other SEC teams, you can go, well, those two are obvious, but maybe the third one's not obvious. It's just interesting that there's not another SEC team where you go, oh, yeah, that's for sure they're three.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I would say that given the four that we like, kind of the four choices, I don't think there's really a bad combination in there. If the Florida thing happens, I don't think that's a bad combination. If it's LSU, I think that's great. If it's Arkansas, I think that's great. So, assuming that we're kind of locked into the Texas and Missouri 2 games, but I like any of the combinations. Like the initial thought, if it's Texas, Missouri, and Arkansas, is, well, man, I want to be in more big games. Well, do you want to be in more big games, or you want to be in the playoff? Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be tied into a couple of teams that you feel like year in, year out, you should have a nice advantage on. You're going to get 6 other games that are going to be pretty good, like no matter what the combinations are. So I think it's probably going to end up being a win-win no matter what.
I know this. OU fans are going to be furious if it feels like we get the hardest 3 annual opponents after the schedule we had last year and the schedule we've got this year. I know that for a fact, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. We may feel or like the last 2 years, last year and this year, may fill our appetite with all the premium games that we want. And it's like, okay, that was fun. Now let's give us a schedule that is doable.
Remember when we were supposed to flip schedules with Texas this season?
Right.
Remember that original announcement? What happened to that?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Now, we're in the SEC. You can't be scared, no matter what it looks like.
That's right.
But yeah, it would be nice because you're going to have Texas, and as long as Steve Sarkisian's at Texas, I think they're going to be really good.
Yep.
It would be nice if it's not Texas, LSU, Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that would be
that
would be one where you look at it and go, oh, But well, maybe they'll take care of us because of the first 2 schedules they gave us after we joined the conference.
I think it's definitely something that is going to be in their mind after all of the conversation about it. So we'll see.
They did us dirty already, man. I'm not holding out hope that they're going to take care of us with this. I'm just not.
Yeah, well, if we actually navigate that schedule and go do something impressive this year, then maybe like, okay, yeah, we see what's happening here. We're not giving you a light into things. So
this will be the last time we talk about this until the schedule gets announced. Because we got ball to talk about in winners and losers, brother.
Well, do we ever?
Let's get to it. But first, 3 things matter in banking: service, service, and service. And First Fidelity Bank's commitment to exceptional service is more than a promise. It's their foundation. FFB has been by your side for over a century, and they are honored to be a part of your journey. Banking isn't about where you've been, it's about where you are headed. Open an account at an award-winning bank today at ffb.com. At First Fidelity Bank, we go where you go. And go to opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED for 10% off our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's opolisclothing.com and use promo code TED. Buttery soft and 10% off. As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the weekend?
Well, in light of Farmageddon weekend over in Ireland, this is the Farmageddon special, winner and loser. And
Nice.
I'm going to start it off by saying the winner of the week for me is Matt Campbell and that fourth down call late. Talk about having some cojones. Um, Bold call, great play call though, and won him the football game. I'm sitting here saying take the points, take the field goal, and that conversion put the football game away for him. That was big. Bold. You got to go out and win it, and they did.
Little subtle pick for the running back in the flat. A tale as old as time in short yardage.
Yep. Nice play.
That Carson Hansen kid had himself a second half, brother, especially a fourth quarter.
He did. He looked good running the ball. That I really like. I was laughing. They lined up with four tight ends a bunch, and that's the one thing Iowa State's always had. They've got tight ends coming out their ears up there.
Can we borrow Benjamin Bramer? I don't know. Number 18. Can we borrow that guy from Iowa State for a couple games?
Take a guy on. Can you take a guy on lease or something? Is that how it works?
Could it be? You know how they do that in professional soccer? Can they loan him to us? He is. We need guys that look like that.
Yeah, that was. Here's the thing about that game. It was sloppy early, but week 0, playing halfway around the world in the rain on a strange field. You got to expect that, and I thought both teams ended up handling it pretty good and turned into a great football game. Second half was well played.
The muffed punt, then the fumbled goal line toss combo to start things off was just fantastic.
I was like, what are we doing? You can't throw a howitzer toss from a yard away from the guy's face mask.
First of all, don't try to make G lead too fancy. It's G lead. Just hand it. You don't need to toss it. Just hand it. Hand it. In fact, it's better to hand it because it creates the boot possibility of the play. And it holds the backside, makes them a little more honest. Just hand it. Don't toss G lead. Don't toss G lead.
Far less likely that you throw a bounce pass off the running back's face mask.
Also that. Do you realize in the 4th and 3 call, I actually was sitting on my couch going, go for it, go for it. You have one play to win the football game. You need 3 yards. I love that Matt Campbell went for it. I think it showed confidence in Rocco Becht in that offense. And I also think it sent a message to his defense saying, hey, guys, if we don't get this, I know you guys can get a stop.
Which, Iowa State's defense played great except for the 2 free runners. That was it. You give up the 2 free runners and they were able to chew up. I don't know. One of them was 65. I don't know how long the other was, but those 2 long pass plays were killers for you.
What'd you think of Kleiman's decision to go for it on 4th and 1 from his own 30? There's about a little over 8 minutes left to go in the game there.
I was shocked.
They were down 3.
Yeah. I don't know. You get sometimes you can feel it like things are slipping away. We may not have many more opportunities, but that's a bold one. Very bold.
Ultimately, the game kind of just came down to 4th down. Kansas State now, they had the 2 turnovers, but they were 1 for 4 on 4th down.
Yeah.
I always view not converting on 4th down as a turnover. That's how I view it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Iowa State was 3 for 3 on 4th down. Kansas State was 1 for 4.
Yeah.
It's kind of the game there, man.
Yep. It was, I thought early, I was like, oh boy, Iowa State's in trouble. Kansas State's got some dudes that can get to the quarterback. they're going to have to figure this out. And they did, but they were getting there early, getting home and putting a lot of pressure on Becht. But I thought he turned things around nicely, ended up having a really solid game. Now, again, you look at the box score and considering week 0, sloppy conditions, tough opponent, nothing like both quarterbacks. Becht was 14 to 28 for 183 and Avery Johnson was 21 to 30. It was just, it was hard. It was points and yards were hard to come by, especially in the first half when it was really raining hard.
Beck had some dimes though, man.
He did. He did.
The slot fade to Overby, perfect ball. What was the other kid's name? Eskildson?
Yes.
Something like that?
3 for 46 and a touchdown. Eskildson.
The touchdown to him, that was a great ball too from Beck. So he was kind of up and down, and he got away with a couple of mistakes where Kansas State feels like he should have had a couple interceptions in that game. And, you know, sometimes you get lucky and guys don't catch it. But his best moments were really, really good. And he did some very important things, especially in some of those fourth down situations with his legs.
Yep. I agree. He was good.
He's easy to cheer for, man. Really easy to cheer for.
The whole team is really
Rocco.
I still like their defense and the way they operate. You know, the 2 long passes are really a frustration. The late one down the sideline is, I mean, you're cover 2. If you're the corner, you got to put something on that guy. Can't just have him free run right past you, especially when the safety is starting up and getting to a cover 2, like you're rolling to it to disguise it. You got to go jam the hell out of that guy.
Well, that receiver for K-State's, he's not a big guy. He's only 6'5", 225.
Yeah, let's take a little steam off, please.
Could we maybe get some hands on Jared Bradley in that situation? Just reroute him just a little bit, please.
Yeah, and I don't know though. I felt going in that the winner of this game was going to really position themselves in a good spot to make the Big 12 championship, and I feel pretty good about Iowa State now. I think that they're going to get better. Don't judge either one of these teams off of this game. Like I said, week 0, halfway around the globe, playing in the rain on a iffy field. It's understandable that maybe neither one of them really looked like what their peak can be this year, but I was happy with it. It turned out to be exactly like I thought, kind of a low scoring slugfest. And, you know, I was glad Iowa State came out on top.
There was a cup snake that went to the upper deck. Did you see that?
Big time.
That's American right there.
That's how you judge whether the game overseas was a success or not.
By cup snake size. And everything you said about week 0 and just all of the conditions for this game. My big takeaway from the game was that neither of these teams are a real contender this season in college football.
For a title.
Yeah. They may be capable of winning a Big 12 championship, but with just what I saw, especially at the line of scrimmage, I don't think either of these teams are making noise in a college football playoff. That's not what I saw.
No, good, solid football teams, but maybe not the firepower offensively that you're possibly going to have when you face some of the defenses you're going to see in a playoff. Absolutely.
So you said your loser comes from Farmageddon as well. What do you got?
I mean, you kind of have to talk about the fight post game, don't you?
Oh, do you ever? What in the world?
I hate it for Avery Johnson. You know, you feel like you already don't want to talk about the loss that just took place out there. Now you're going to have this swirling around you. I don't know what the genesis of that confrontation was. Maybe the genesis was Guinness, but I that was tough. And you got to know that everything's going to be on camera. And I don't know. Tough.
Let's explain it for
Right.
anyone that hasn't seen it. There is a clip circulating of Avery Johnson's dad and Avery Johnson's brother fighting each other after the game.
Allegedly, like I have no idea if that's who
I,
those two people are, but that's
that's
what seems like the consensus thought.
that seems to be the consensus thought. Which it's also, I would say, there's a lot of people. This is an Isaiah Hartenstein situation. Yes, Avery Johnson's dad is black. Yes, I don't. That some people may not have known that. Now they know, but it is one of those situations where you go, guys, really? Like, what did the dad and the brother say to each other to start throwing hands in front of all of those people? I need to know. I want to know. Like, what was the conversation that it was like, I'm going to fight my dad right now?
I don't know, but what are the chances they're fighting again right now at 30,000 feet over the Atlantic? Because I have to imagine they're probably on the same flight home,
They're probably sitting next to each other.
staying in the same hotel after the game. You know, maybe that was just round one.
Maybe that's how the Johnson family works
That
through
could have that
things.
way. That's all right.
The worst
Just
part is like the main clip that's going around is they appear to be wrestling in a puddle.
all right.
It's like a giant puddle. It's just like, I don't know, man, but it made a it made a very, very tough loss for Avery Johnson much, much worse.
Yeah. That it's the worst thing that is like everyone is going to bring that to your attention, right? That conversation probably flipping through the phones. It's like, hey, you checked your phone yet? May want to see what's going on. Yeah, I hate that for him. It's a distraction you don't need or don't want. It's hard enough to go out there and play high quality football without having, any family drama hanging over your head. And like you said, maybe this is, kind of not a normal thing, but that's how they operate and they'll be fine afterwards. I don't know, but not what you want to be talking about after a loss for sure.
I'm trying to imagine how many Guinnesses I would have to drink to fight my dad. I
Oh.
I don't think it's possible. I love my dad, but man, he's old. That would not be cool, man. I just fighting your dad in a public setting is absolutely wild, man. At your
It,
brother's football game, like this is absolutely wild.
like it's one in front of everyone too. Like not in the car, not back at the hotel, like right there front and center.
I've got one last question for you for this. Is Avery Johnson good?
He Yeah, I think he's good. I don't know what's the bar there.
I
I mean, I think he's capable of some really good stuff. He he makes some really nice plays, throws some good balls, but I mean, I don't think he's a next level guy that's going to get them over. Like, I think he's very replaceable, I guess is the way to say it.
I he has some wow plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the guys were wide open, but those were good throws on the deep balls for touchdowns. Those were good throws.
Yep.
But it just feels like, especially as a passer, he just lacks consistency. His mechanics, I'm not a quarterback guru. His mechanics look off.
Yeah.
It's like disjointed. And I just don't know, man. I'm not sure he's that good. Because remember what he was supposed to be for them.
Right.
He was supposed to be, people are saying, hey, this is going to be the best quarterback K-State maybe has ever had. And it feels like he is a long way off from that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Athleticism's great, but they really didn't run him much. So I was confused by some of the things they did offensively. I'm not sure they're playing to his true strengths. I don't know. I'm struggling as I watch him. I just kept asking myself, is this guy that good? I don't know. He's a confusing player for me.
Yeah. And I know that college football has morphed and it's constantly a changing environment, but if I were at K-State, I would do what I always did. I have a gigantic quarterback that is dangerous in the interior power run game and a good passer. That's kind of what they've always been really good at. And they tried to get maybe a little more athletic and a little more.
Dude, they're doing what everyone else does. They're running a spread RPO system.
Yeah.
And it makes me so sad. They're running like the 3-3-5 stuff on defense. K-State used to be multiple tight ends. We're going to run power at you 20 times, and then we're going to run 4 down and just beat the hell out of you at the line of scrimmage on defense.
Yep.
And that version of K-State is gone, which makes me sad.
Which is crazy because, not to go off on a tangent here, but we were just talking about Bill Snyder on Friday, and it's been so long that I think a lot of people don't recognize that Kansas State was literally like the worst football team in the country forever until Bill Snyder got there. And you typically see programs like that get turned around by like some type of gimmicky offense or air raid. Like, we don't have the players. We got to attack people a different way. Bill Snyder, like, did it the opposite. Came in and turned them into a physical juggernaut. And that's how they turned that program around. And I think that it should be their MO forever. That's what they need to lean on, is it's hard to be able to do that. And they got there for a long time.
Getting stuffed on 4th down, not the K-State way. What that offensive line was doing on that 4th and 1 where they had 3 guys blocking the nose guard, I about threw my phone when I was like, what are these guys doing? But I think Chris Kleiman is a great coach. I'm a fan of his. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like K-State's gotten away from its identity and what made that program great.
Yep, I agree.
Feels like they've gotten too far away from it.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? Like, because it felt like they kind of made that switch for Avery Johnson.
Yes.
Because the quarterback that left was 6'5", 245 pounds, and that he kind of fit what they had always done to a degree. But I don't know. We'll see if they can salvage it. Not the end of the world. Week 0. They're going to get better. We'll see.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
we found some amazing shirts we need to tell you guys about. Poncho. They make the ultimate outdoor performance shirts for men. Fabric's lightweight, breathes incredibly well, and dries fast. You can get them both short and long sleeve. You can choose regular fit or slim fit, and Poncho's got great color and pattern options as well. The shirt is built for whatever you want to throw at it. Getting outdoors, travel, backyard barbecue, date night, and Poncho wants you in a shirt you love, which is why they're offering free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. If you've been looking for the perfect shirt, something breathable that fits great, feels even better, and stands out in a good way, give Poncho a try. Go to ponchooutdoors.com/OKBreakdown for $10 off your first order. That's Poncho, Poncho, outdoors.com/OK breakdown for $10 off and free shipping. Go try one out.
They're nice.
Yes, they are.
We are Mando Men. This is actually the deodorant both of us use. And new customers can go to shopmando.com and get 20% off site wide and free shipping with our code OK Breakdown. Cheering for your squad is hard work, which makes the deodorant you choose very important. Mando's sweat control deodorant stick stops odor before it starts, and they have great scents like bourbon leather, Cloverwoods, Mount Fuji, and Pro Sport. Mando's starter pack is also perfect for new customers. It comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. New customers get 20% off site wide and free shipping on shopmando.com with our code OK Breakdown. That's shopmando.com, code OK Breakdown for 20% off and free shipping for new customers. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great doing it. All right, for my winner of the weekend, give me the other team in the Sunflower State. I'll take the Kansas Jayhawks.
Okay.
Hey, you open up that new beautiful stadium, those shiny new facilities. Started off with the nice 31-7 win over Fresno State, but maybe most importantly, Ted, Jalon Daniels looked healthy and he looked good.
Yes, he did. It was like I knew he was coming back and I knew he was playing for Kansas, but whenever I finally saw him out there, I was like, how long has this guy? I feel like he's been playing forever. 6 year. But yeah, I mean that's what they wanted from him. They got what you expect. Some wild plays, some nice throws, super efficient, good on the ground. If he plays like that all year and is available for them, they're going to be dangerous.
18-20 for 176 and 3 touchdowns. I thought he looked really good moving around, especially in the pocket. I really liked how they changed the launch point for him in the passing game. They had some really creative play action stuff. Added 47 yards rushing. He looks elusive, and the Jayhawks may have some playmakers, man. Like that Cam Pickett, the Ball State transfer, couple touchdowns for him. Thought he looked good. He's got an interesting build for a wide receiver. He looks like a running back.
Yep.
Playing wide receiver. The LaShawn Williams, the Iowa transfer, guy looked like he had some juice when they were handing him the ball. And then Daniel Highshaw's still there. Feels like he's been there for forever. Yeah. And he can go at running back. So you combine that and with what Daniels can do with his legs, like they got some guys that can make some plays. Now, I'm not sure how much we learned about Kansas's offensive line and defensive line with what Fresno State had at the point of attack, but hey, they were moving people, man. I got to give the Jayhawks some credit. Opened up that new stadium with I guess with the bang. I don't know. I thought it was going to be like a 50-7 situation. They kind of took the foot off the gas in the second half.
I'll say this, I'm happy for Kansas fans. How awesome is it to see a game against Fresno packed, just jam-packed. We're used to going up there and seeing like a totally empty stadium and seeing it on film and watching them on TV.
I have in the past said that people would always ask me, where's the hardest place to play? And every time I would say it's Kansas. And they'd look at me crazy. I was like, dude, it's like playing football in a morgue. There's no energy. There's no one there. It's just the most bizarre feeling. I can't say that anymore.
It's like a joint practice.
Yeah, the booth is rocking now, baby. How about the little like wheat themed end zones? Do you see those?
Cool. Yeah, pretty cool. Look good.
You learn something new every day. I was going, why? Yeah, there's a lot of wheat in Kansas. I totally get that. But it's the Sunflower State. I guess you can't put sunflower themed end zones. But did a little digging. Turns out Kansas's official state nickname is the Sunflower State. But a lot of people also refer to it as the Wheat State.
Huh.
How
Okay.
about that?
There you go. I
According to their
like it.
Wikipedia.
Well, I thought it looked good. I thought it was a nice look to have that place packed on week 0 to open things up, and uh, it's nice to get a $300 million gift to the athletic department, isn't it? Whew.
I have no idea who David Booth is. No clue. But that guy clearly is the man.
He's the
And he
man.
and he clearly loves Kansas.
Yeah.
The stadium's already named after him, and he gave him 300 million more. David Booth must be killing it, bro.
Yeah. He's killing it right now.
I last thing on this game, other than the new stadium, those tall little light things, weird shadow on the field.
Yeah.
Just something, just watching it early, weird shadow on the field. I don't know if I don't know if the players can see it or if that affects them in any way. Just something that I noticed. Weird shadows on the field. But I have no clue what's going to happen in the Big 12 this season.
Neither.
But what I saw from Kansas State and Iowa State made me think this conference may be even more wide open than I thought it was. And with what I saw from Jalon Daniels, if Kansas can get that version of him for an entire season, I'm not so sure that Kansas won't have the best quarterback in the Big 12 then. And that's no disrespect to Sam Levitt, who I think is really good, or Sawyer Robinson, who is really good, and it's definitely the top pro prospect in the conference. But when Jalon Daniels is healthy and playing well, and when these teams are all as close as they are from a talent perspective, that man is a really good college quarterback when he's healthy. And I don't know, dude, maybe the Jayhawks can make some noise. That Leipold is a fantastic coach.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
Arizona State is pretty much the only, I don't know, contender that they don't play. They're at Tech. They play K-State at home. They're at Iowa State late, and then Utah at home is the final game. And you know, I I can't really place anyone super high above the rest. I kind of have Iowa State there. I think the team to watch is Baylor. You know, at least it feels that way right now. The quarterback that they've got, and I don't know. It's going to be a fun conference. I imagine there's going to be a lot of beating each other up.
With what Kansas's schedule looks like, if they get a healthy Jalon Daniels for the entire season, they are going to mess someone's season up.
Yep.
I feel very confident in saying that.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the guys that you know for sure is capable of going out and beating a good team kind of on his own, like having one of those days. So I'm with you.
My loser of the weekend, give me Matt Rhule.
Rhule?
Ted, just let me explain.
Okay.
Matt Rhule's our guy, but he is now getting in the podcast game. He has launched a podcast, House Rules, which fantastic name. Well done. And let me make myself clear. We are Matt Rhule fans. I think this podcast can be really cool. Dude, if you can get a head coach of a big time program that can talk and is very opinionated, like if you can get him to talk about what it's like to run a big time program, if he can go in depth on that, if he can go in depth on some of the stuff from their games, like an X's and O's perspective, if he can go in depth on other games, like it would be amazing. It would be awesome. But the first time that Nebraska loses this season, that fan base is going nuts, man. Nuts.
Yeah, the one score loss, that's been the plague of the program for a long time. Yeah, I agree with you. Let me ask you this. Is this a sign that he thinks he's got a pretty damn good football team?
Yes.
Or you think so?
You don't do this unless you think you got a good squad.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think this is a sign that Matt Rhule feels good about the type of season they're going to have. And it's cool because he said that there's an NIL angle to this. That's like the big picture play is he's going to be able to have his players on there to boost their brands, get them more exposure, and they can get paid for those appearances. That's awesome. But my question is that NIL money and what that produces, like, is it worth the headache that this could end up being for him?
You should be watching film, Rhule. Why are you wasting time on a podcast?
I think Nebraska fans will really appreciate the inside knowledge of the program. Like, I think they'll love all that. But they will lose their minds as soon as they lose a game.
Yeah.
It is a guarantee.
Yep. Oh, no House Rules episode this week. Interesting.
Interesting.
One score loss.
I love Matt Rhule. I think he's great. But we're going to find out if he's built for the content game or not. Hey.
I mean, it's crazy we all know the history there that this year is becoming a pretty high stakes year for him. I've seen a bunch of people pick him to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Because they've got a schedule that if they are good.
And that was pre-podcast announcement. Think about
podcast. That's right.
Now that he has a podcast, how does that factor into your playoff predictions? I don't know, but the people are wondering.
You know, it is interesting. Like you look back, Bud Wilkinson at Oklahoma was the first to do like a weekly newsletter. That's how we got we didn't have the fan base we have now until then. And that was a big part of getting everyone involved. He was the first to do a weekly TV show. Bud Wilkinson was. So I think it's nice when you win 47 straight to go with your weekly TV program, right? I think that's really the ultimate thing is you got to win. I think it can be a nice addition, maybe give that program a little bit more of attention nationally, especially if they've got something going. It's another avenue. So if the on-field matches, it could be great. If the on-field doesn't match, it could be a disaster. You've nailed it.
The absolute funniest way for this to go is for them to lose that opener to Cincinnati on Thursday.
7-3.
I don't want that to happen. I want Matt Rhule to succeed, but you launch the podcast, then you lose the opener to Cincinnati. That game's at Arrowhead, by the way. That would be a catastrophic start to Matt Rhule's podcasting career.
It's a single episode podcast that its only episode is announcing its funeral, right? That's it. Well, maybe we'll start the House Rules podcast next year.
There's going to be a point they're going to lose a game. We'll see what Rhule's made of when it comes to producing content. You and I, we went through the 2022 and the 2024 seasons, and we were here twice a week, every week, pushing through.
Got to be consistent, Rhule.
Does he have what it takes for the true podcast grind? We'll find out.
Find out.
It could be really good, dude. I
think it will be. Now, whether Nebraska fans thinks it's really good or not, yet to be seen. But even after a loss, even whenever the pressure's on, I think it'll still be really good. I mean, he's kind of if you were to hand select a couple of coaches from across the country to host a podcast, Rhule would be very high on the list.
You know what? The first thing I want Matt Rhule to talk about on his next episode is?
What's that?
Avery Johnson's dad and brother fighting. I want his thoughts. How do you handle that? What do you do? Do you got any other crazy stories? You don't have to mention players' names, but any other crazy parent stories? That's what I want to hear.
That's good.
Maybe I should produce House Rules. Maybe that's my calling. I'm going to be Matt Rhule's podcast producer.
Yeah, I saw that he said I'm gonna have to. I have to find another hour a week
Oh,
to work on it. I was like,
oh, sweetie, honey, come on. You got to put the time in, brother. You can't just show up and roll.
I know you're gonna. I know he's gonna have a really good back. All he has to really worry about is showing up and does the mic work. After that, everyone else is going to do the back end stuff for him. But if you want it to be real and authentic and not just some, canned product from Nebraska, got to put a little bit of thought into it.
You got to put the time in or it's not going to be good, Matt. It's just the truth. The people will be able to tell if you're not putting the time in. Just saying.
How long until he regrets? I'm not even talking about the fans revolting if they lose or anything, but just adding another thing onto his plate, how long before he's like, okay, this sounded good, but too much. I'm busy.
That has already happened. For sure. Birthday shout outs. Happy first birthday to Theo Gonzalez.
Happy first birthday to Annabelle Palmer.
Happy 8th birthday to Oliver Hansen.
Happy 55th birthday to Mary Smith.
Happy 63rd birthday to Pam Parker.
Happy birthday to Ryan Aarons.
And happy 66th birthday to Carrie Bryant. That's Carrie, right? Carie? Carrie.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not Kari, Carrie.
Carrie.
Happy birthday, Carrie.
If
On
you
that
want to
note,
dress it up, it's Kari, I guess.
Maybe she's fancy like that. I don't know. On that note, episode 557 in the books. We'll have a new podcast that'll drop on Wednesday. Reminder, Illinois State head coach Brock Spack joins us to preview the matchup with the Sooners. He's great. We already recorded it. It's awesome. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Oh, one thing, YouTube. What do you think about doing 2 in the weeds a week this season?
Hey.
So we do one that would come out on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like we did last year, recapping some of the biggest plays from the game that just happened on the Saturday. Do you think people would be interested in one on Thursday, kind of previewing the upcoming opponent, like some situations or some things that we think are keys to the game? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
All we could do is try and see how the people respond.
Well, yeah, let's maybe try it with Illinois State and see what the response is.
I'm down.
And if you guys are interested in that, let us know on Twitter at OK_breakdown. Hit us up. I feel like people like In the Weeds.
Yeah, it's good. I like In the Weeds.
Hope you all have a great start to your week. And until next time, we appreciate you all for listening. Do what you always do, Oklahoma. Take care of each other.
Boom.